Hello, people of YouTube. It's your boy, Skinny Penis, and we're checking out the Z-52, the DPM-52. Someone requested it, so here we go. Probably the next one is going to be Smaland, just to show the stark contrast of those two DDs and how one is completely broken and the other one is extremely situational. But what do you need for Z-52 to actually work? Because it can work, like essentially like any DD can really work or have better impact than some other ships and other classes. But Z-52 would need tier 8 and 9 matchmaking and or no radars. Specifically no 12 cams or no radar DDs. Radar DDs would be a big problem for it. So, looking at the matchmaking, we have submarines, don't give a shit. I think my depth charge is actually pretty shit. I mean, I have a lot of them, but they don't do damage because I have Hydro. They think it's balanced. So we have one radar, but no radar DDs. Meaning the moment this guy gets spotted, and I have a smoke ready, I can always like fight whatever is running at me. Shouldn't be an issue. It's like the thing. You have 6 km Hydro, which originally when it was released was super strong, especially for cap contesting, because there wasn't like other long range Hydro, neither were there like that many radar cruisers or specifically also radar DDs. But then with like the introduction of Smaland, Ragnar, what else is there? Like even Black, then Nevsky, additionally to Moscow and stuff. Like so many people have radar now that since you only have 23.8 kHP without a heal and you're pretty slow and clumsy, doesn't really allow you to play that aggressive anymore. At least they buffed it to 32mm base pen, which is great. Like I said, like it can work. Certain situations, it really does pump out decent damage against 32mm armor and below, obviously. And also, people show broadside. You still have the good AP alpha, and you have half decent torps. I mean, they're pretty fast and they're fairly long range. So yeah. We're going to the island here, since going for the gap into A is just essentially a coin flip. And since I don't have a very fast destroyer, I can't really do it. The only thing that can run it there is kind of the... oh shit, we have him here, okay. Well, the only ship that can really run it there is... I'm on Hydro now. Maybe Hydro the DD, the submarine, yeah. The only ship that can really run it there is like French destroyers, pretty obvious. Thankfully it's a stalling rod, which means he doesn't have Hydro. So I can like reverse here. Pop speed boost, wait a second. Engine boost activated. All stations. Going to Torb real quick and go forward immediately. Maybe I can force him to turn in. Even though like if I would be that stalling rod I would never turn in, doesn't make sense. But look, I took a bunch of damage for this shit. I don't really know if it was worth it, to be honest. We also have the problem that he could pop radar and there is a Grozovoy in the cap that could shoot me. It's like... oh, we got 2 torpedoes with a perma flood, which is kinda turbo needed here. First of all, the flooding slows him down. Second of all, the flooding takes damage out of him. I mean, what I'm doing here is super risky. Because, yeah, exactly. If he radars now and this Grozovoy decides to shoot me, I have a big time problem. And I will lose all my HP. So we just hope that the Grozovoid doesn't decide to shoot me, and or the stalling rod doesn't even run radar module. So yeah. Now the Grozovoid does shoot me, which is a problem. Instead, going to lose more HP that I can't recover. Theoretically, I can recover HP because I'm running Special Commander, you know. But well, I still have a Hydro for 1 minute, so at least that's decent. I'm going to switch to AP here for the Stalin. The thing though is why I went to the island with the Hydro is that I can Hydro people on the other side of the island here, and also maybe the submarine, so... the submarine is in front of me. The problem is just I can't really go for him. The Stalin will die, so we won't get a second radar on me. That's kind of super important. We have torpedoes ready again, so I'm going to torp the spot of the Grozovoy. Problem here being... I'm going to run now above the submarine and hope I can kill him or catch him with Hydro. Problem is that the Thunder has an angle on me. Like 20-second Hydro left. Okay, I said like I can get some. Okay, I can go for this if he chooses to stay there. I can go above him. Hmm. The submarine doesn't really play well, to be honest. He's gonna die here. And the reservoir is going towards the middle, as you can see on the minimap, so I can go into the... What the fuck? Oh, I was like, how does he not die? What the actual fuck? In any case, as I said, like the starting rod died. I kept him lit. My hydro, if he even tries to go dark. And the submarine, I mean, he was an idiot. But I can now go into the cap here and shoot a bit on the Thunderer, to be honest, because I can kite around the island here. To try and use the AP a bit. The moment people angle, you can't really use the AP anymore, by the way. It's not a thing on Z. It doesn't pen anymore the moment people angle. It only works on completely flat broadsides, but then you do a whole lot of damage. Okay, now I'm actually going to keep farming the Thunderer and not going into the cap immediately, since the cap is mine anyways. But the Thunderer would be way more important now to kill him as fast as possible, so he doesn't go base, full HP and starts kiting us forever. Kind of a problem. As you can see here, we pen him everywhere, but our alpha is super shit, so... Oh, I have to smoke. The Thunderer is also looking for me. Well, the Schlieffen popped up in the middle of the map. I don't know how he makes that move unspotted, but he did. So we're having like a slight little issue here. Schlieffen is trying to make it into the cap. Actually, good thing I didn't go in myself. Okay, that's something I shouldn't really pop hydro for. So... I think he's taking this side, so I'm gonna torpid. Then we're going up into their base. Okay, the gearing is also running through the middle, but he's running into a Kleber, so that's GG's, I would assume. The problem is if the Schlieffen just sits in there, I can't play it. It's fairly obvious with the hydro, right? And the secondaries, like, you can't really play into it. If I hit torpedoes and our submarine manages to do some damage too, it would be great. This guy seems to be reversing, but I already torped. But I got one torpedo hit, well, better than nothing, I guess. Sadly, I used my smoke there, since I was scared that the Schlieffen holds spot for too long through the gap, and his secondaries would kind of murder me, so I'd rather smoke there. Yeah, Z is pretty point starved, that's why I mentioned the smoke. Like, you can't really take a whole lot, so I opted to drop Superintendent to get a bit more value out of it overall, because you kind of need the range, since if you really want to use your guns, it's better to stay pretty far away from people. You don't have the heal, as said. You don't have the... I'm cucking my torpedo angle here, but that doesn't really matter, because I'd rather be away from the Schlieffen, to be fair. Torpedo reload is fast, very fast base reload. Problem with the torps is they don't do damage. 14k alpha. But as I said, like, they're fast and they have decent range, so they're some like optional gimmick. You can get floods with it and then follow up with fires and shit. But in general, you're not gonna one-shot a Shiki with it, for example. This guy has 50k HP. If he eats like 6 torps, he's still gonna survive because of his torpedo belt. But the torpedoes do look pretty okay. I mean, we're gonna clip him with a few. I didn't really expect him to do this kind of stupidity reverse. Yeah, they didn't even do 30k. It's a wee bit of a problem here. He has a secondary spec. I'm going to open up, finish him quickly. Because the other ships, as you can see in base, are out of my range, so if I kill him, I go dark. Also, I have a smoke ready again in case something weird happens. Got the kill there, pretty good. Yep. So the Schlieffen still sits in there. Well, nothing really I can do about that, to be fair. Our Kleber ran it in between the Grozo and the gearing and died. That's fairly retarded. But yeah. Sadly, the Schlieffen came in, otherwise I would be sitting in there Or at least I would have kept it and then gone back out. But since the Shiki offered me a nice little target there, it doesn't really matter. I still got use out of my ship in the meantime. So yeah. Problematic though that our DDs are all our gun DDs are straight up inting into these two. I mean, if they trade both DDs out now for the Haru, it's great, but I don't think they trade a single DD out here. Well, yeah, I can't go back into A, by the way, from the 2 line because of the Schlieffenstall. He's also most likely going to run it out there. So my idea is now to go behind them in base. As I said, like, you have to just dodge raiders with Z, and we kill the raider immediately on the Stalin. So I also reversed and took one HE salvo from him. But I really wanted torpedoes on him. And with the torps obviously killing him faster, meaning I get rid of the radar, and afterwards I can slowly play with my smokes. It's like the idea. You have to play pretty opportunistic. Like, you can't force shit with Z. It's the thing with lots of old DDs. You're very, very bound to your team and how they play. You can't really... Wait a minute, he's going to accelerate soonish, so I'm gonna torp this. I mean, theoretically, like... Okay, he's dead, whatever. I mean, the Yoshino is in base, the Thunder is gonna die, the Grozovoi is kinda low. I think I'm gonna open up a bit on the Monty. Z needs to die soonish, so I can help here. I mean, I can even smoke up. Oh, he doesn't play fire prevention. I think I'm gonna just go smoke up, because at this point I think people have spotting on him. I could also just shoot the gearing he beached. I thought he was going full speed, and at that range it's hard to hit him, but he's like not going full speed dodge, he's beaching himself into the rock, so I can quickly kill him here. He's in the Minnow Hydro. There you go. This guy got a double fire from me, so I can set permas now. As you could see, I held spotting on everyone. I have 104k spotting damage. I couldn't play into A, that was impossible, but then just search for another opportunity to play the game. That's the thing where, like, Z and other, like, some ships are just like nothing I really like to play a lot, because there's too many situations like this year where I have to rely on my team and where I just can't force kills or win because the ship just doesn't allow for it. To be fair though, the situation in the entire game went pretty fortunate for us. As said, like, Stalin died, submarine was stupid, Grozovoi didn't really use the Stalin raider to fuck with me. Yeah, I also got a what is it, a Lucian's proc? A Gunta procced. I have the gun proc, and I have the heal proc once. You can get the heal proc as often as you want. Do keep in mind that the heal proc is for 3 spotted ribbons. And the thing is, if people are dark for more than 2 minutes, you can get a spotting ribbon again. So late game, when an entire flank of your team completely dies, like, for example, if this flank would have completely run away or died from us, and these people all go dark in the enemy team and rotate into middle, if I'm the one spotting all of them, like 4 or 5 people, it's fairly likely I get double proc sometimes. It happens, it definitely happens. I mean, the spotting proc though on Z is pretty nice to have, or Elbing even. The thing though is, the moment you have a CV game, you're obviously fucked. Like, you're not gonna spot shit in a CV game, because only the initial spot counts, and then I said they have to go dark for 2 minutes or so again for you to get a spotting ribbon. So yeah, that's kind of dumb, in my opinion. It's like, just because there is a CV, you can completely forget about that buff, and in other games you might proc it 2 or 3 times, which gives you, I think one heal is 3500 HP on a Z, or 3000 around about that. So if you get 3 of them, it happens sometimes, definitely, it can happen. If you get 3 of them, you get 6k more HP, which is then more than 30k HP to play with. It's pretty strong. But yeah, the DPM itself on the HE is shit, and the fire chance also not the best, but the thing is, as I said, like, you pen a lot, so you have, overall, if you get to farm people, you have an easier time getting damage, like, let's say, a basic level of damage, because you're more versatile in what you can farm and can't farm. AP, once again, I can only remind you, can only shoot AP on actual flak broadsides. Also the thing with the AP being good against destroyers, it only works on DDs that fuse your AP reliably, like a Daring, a Smaland, a Haaland, fat destroyers. I mean, Elbing even. Elbing is really, really bad against Z if you angle and he... Oh, we got a pretty good game here. But yeah, you can smash Elbing, for example, or even like Khabarovsk. You can load AP there, but only if they're flat broadside. Like the thing is, it doesn't have improved pan angle, so if people angle, you're kind of fucked. Oh, we actually got 2.6 base, lots of damage. This is kind of like the maximum you can really do in Z. Even though Z has been out for, what is it, like 5 years now, there haven't been many 300k games in it. Just because the DPM is low, the Torp Alpha is low, so you need a lot of fortunate events. I mean, people don't play it anymore, so now with the super ships you could probably get a 300k game way easier, also arms raise. But yeah, let's go into the spec. I said spec on Z is maybe a bit more interesting since it's a wee bit point starved, as I told you. Like superintendent would be nice to have because the German smokes are pretty shit. Long reload, short dispersion time. Torpedo reload would also be nice, but you can't spec for everything. So since the base range is fairly bad and the ship is probably a lot more gun focused than people would anticipate, like it's the same as on other DDs that have torps and guns, like a Smaland. Like the torps are mostly just for getting 2 hits or so in a flood, DCPs, and then you can like farm them with the guns and set fires. So in order to actually use my guns more effectively, I think AFT is the play. If you like, you could remove Fearless Brawl because you're only losing DPM, and you could go for more utility. That would definitely be a more safer approach, because then you can like use your smoke a bit more loosey goosey, just because you have one more. But I think since most games are not that long anyway, this is like the optimal build probably at the moment in randoms. I personally wouldn't drop concealment because the ship in certain situations is top dog cap contest. If you have a smoke and a hydro ready, you can just sit in some caps, and if there's, I said, like no radar in the enemy team, you can bully out any destroyer, so you have like the best objective power if the situation is right. I mean, yeah, if you want it, then play it with Hydro Mod. Like if you want to play Z, then play it with Hydro Mod. Definitely worth it. Other than that, yeah, main gun reload is obvious. The rest is obvious too. I personally would never go for a torpedo spec on it. Doesn't really make sense. Also, the ledge mod is complete and utter trash, I think. Yeah, it's trash. I mean, I guess it could work. If you go full torp, you can meme a bit with Z. Let's hop into the next game. It's just in a sorrow state because, like, to have impact in it, like actual impact that is better than other DDs. Like, okay, listen, if you just want to AFT farm with it, why would you pick a Z? You can just pick a Marceau, a Kleber, a Cab, a Zorki, a Ragna, a Smalan. Everything farms better with its guns, open water. Safer and better, because more DPM heals, better maneuverability. So if you want more use out of it, or actually like use in terms of how to win a game, you want to cap contest. But that just doesn't work anymore as it did when it was released. You don't have the sustain. You don't even have the ability to consistently contest with your smoke and hydro. I mean, your hydro is pretty long, that's good and fine, but your smokes last not long at all, while their reload is insanely long. Meaning, you only get that one smoke to really safely go into a camp and fuck with it, and afterwards you kinda already have to play passive again. Specifically also when there's a CV. Like, even if there's no radar, if there's a CV, yeah, you have to cap in that one smoke, otherwise the CV will just spot you for free, because you also don't have AA. I guess it's in general like a hybrid destroyer, but it's too weak in every aspect. Like, you want guns, you have better options. You want torps and outspotting, you have better options. Like a Shimmer. Like, Shimmer doesn't need to necessarily leave a cap like a Z does after the smoke is faded, because the Shimmer has the best concealment. So if your ass in, no one can like really outspot you. Like, you're always going to outspot the enemy, and then you'll be able to run away, because it's also like faster, more nimble, smaller, lower in the water. It's like, it's weird to make Z really work these days. And to be honest, if you run into the wrong ships, you're completely fucked. This game is, again, super decent in terms of what ship I'm playing against. There's no radar. Sadly, there's a carrier. I mean, it's a given, lots of carriers. But there is no radar destroyer. Also important. The only thing that can fuck me is like a Sherman, because I only have, what is it? Is it 500? I think Sherman gets 5 hydro, right? So I have 500 meters of stealth hydro against him, essentially. The problem is just the thing has, that's like the weird part. Why wouldn't you, for example, just play a Sherman? Apart from being a bit more rush proof in Z because you have some torpedoes and generally having like torps and more usable torps in general. Like, what's the difference between both of them? Yeah, it has a bit higher concealment, but Sherman has like a fucking disgusting DPM and a long-lasting smoke with way better gun arcs, or like better gun arcs. Not maybe not way better, but better. So, what do you do when a Sherman runs at you, dude? Like, it's super fucking cringe. So here we can hopefully get a bit of AP in. This is like a great opportunity to show that the AP can actually hurt these people quite a lot. Oh yeah, you can see it. We're doing 4k hits. If I would hit more, I would also get more damage. That is a given. And I don't want to knock his gun, I want to kind of kill him. Oh! And he already fucking torpedoed me. That was way earlier than I expected. He pre-sent them. Ah yeah, well, wait, right, I was carrier spotted. I'm a bit doo-doo. Doo-doo in the head, you know. Happens sometimes. Sometimes you're just being a bit doo-doo. But I bullied him fairly well with the carrier and my team together, so... But then again, he won't be able to contest against me anyways. I torped the spot even where he could start to reverse into the cap again. But yeah. The Smolly is pretty nice that he died. That's the next thing, like you could never open water in Z. There's, for example, a Smolly running around. That's just not something that that makes sense. That you can do. Here you have the problem that you don't pen these fucks. It's not a good battleship to be farming. The damage is extremely mediocre. You have to hope for fires, kind of. Wait, what the fuck is this? It's okay, it's a poison AW. It was like Guden or Trump, but Guden or Trump are both spotted. Oh wait, the smoke is already faded. Look, like the smoke is faded, and I am on straight up a, what is it? 1 minute 10, 1 minute 20 cooldown. So it's like, is it really nice? Is it really worth it? I don't know. I think they should definitely give Z-52 some buffs. Hell yeah, they should. There are multiple aspects of the ship you could instantaneously buff and it wouldn't even become in any way that much more viable. You could give it more gun DPM. You could give it better smoke. I mean, okay, that's something they never do, like change the gimmick really. But if you want to buff it, then just give it like a heal or more gun DPM, and you could actually like use it again, play it, kind of. I'm gonna torp blind just because my torpedo reload is very fast. It's kind of spam torpedoes. Oshi Pale and his poison is coming in. Well, I guess it's 50-50 if he's running Hydro already or not. We're going to not open up yet because obviously you want to hope and wait for the torpedo hits to get flood. Because open watering and trading HP in this ship is limited, as said. You will lose HP, you don't have a heal, you don't have the sustain. So you want to shoot when it's really worth it to trade HP, and it would be worth it if this guy, for example, has no DCP, which is most likely going to be the case in a few seconds, because this one torp is probably hitting him. We have a smoke ready too. He's gonna DCP. German BBs obviously take a bit more damage from your torps. Shooting HE for some fucking weird reason that I don't know of. We're going to farm him now. If he's secondary spec, like hyper secondary spec, we will go into a smoke at some point. Carrier's probably gonna get the fire here, by the way. No, he gets the nose fire. That's interesting. I'm gonna smoke here, to be honest. The poison needs to leave or get out of the corner anyways. Like, we have to kill him here. It's kind of a given. We want to play. Oh, he doesn't play fire prevention. Yuri has a double. Okay. He's gonna lose a whole lot of HP here because of that torp. That's the thing, like, you don't have to spec into the torps to get the actual value out of them. Like, otherwise torpedoes are super situational and are also super frustrating to play. If you're too hardcore spec'd into torps, you can't really do much with your guns, which means then you have to rely on torpedoes hitting. But then if the Preußen just eats one torp, it's like, well, guess we're fucked now. Sadly, I didn't get a second fire. I mean, I said like the fire chance, fires per minute is atrocious on this ship. In general, the German BBs, apart from the shitty torpedo belt, aren't a ship that you're really that good against, to be honest. What you want to fight is 32 millimeters, or ships that have side plating that you can pen if they turn flat. Like, I couldn't pen his side plating really if he turns flat, so if he goes flat broadside, there's no point in shooting AP. That's, by the way, something people should think more about when they play DDs, like a Z, like low caliber DDs with low pen, Z, Smaland, Marceau. Certain battleships, if they turn flat broadside, the nature of the side plating is in a way that you can't penetrate it. So shooting AP at medium to long ranges is completely useless. You think, or people think they get damage there, but that's actually just penning the superstructure, which you could do with HE too. Like, it wouldn't change the damage, but you have the added bonus of being able to set fires. So yeah, for example, German BBs, I said it I think in other videos like a year ago or so as well, against German or Russian battleships, especially like we're talking Krem, Preußen, GK here, it's not worth it. Or like even Schlieffen has 155 side. You don't pen that medium to long range, you just don't have the pen on the DDs. And I said, like, people think you do damage because you pen the superstructure and shit, so that's like a misleading. This game is the same as last game in the sense that we don't have radars against us, so I can just play freely. But you could also see that it takes me a while to get damage out on people. You have to wait for the torps, you have to gun very, very long, have to hope for the fires. Obviously, there's no fire prevention and always DCP'd one fire, so it was like, or a flood. It's like, okay, well, that guy essentially wanted to die on purpose. That's not me being good. If I had a Smaland here or Marceau in the corner, I would have been way deeper, way faster, and therefore I would have instantaneously gunned down the Preußen. If he doesn't have fire prevention, you play something like a Marceau or Smaland in there, you just kill him straight up open water. Because you're also so fast that you can disengage all the time. Probably even get a bunch of man, could you, like, what the fuck are you doing, bro? Yeah, nice, you're in the smoke, but you're spotted because you're demented. Thank you very much, you're retarded. I have smoke and hide already, so I'm going to the middle. I could hunt into base for the battleships. I mean, okay, this guy's low now, but the Shiki has HP. I would be a wee bit too greedy, but as you can see, there's a YY, a Trump, and an Elbing in the middle. I don't think the YY is radar, and even if he is, I'm still full HP, so I will probably trade effectively with him. Won't die. So yeah, I'm going into the middle. My combination is ready. There's no radar cover there, so I can just park in the cap if needed. Oh, the YY isn't radar, he's smoke. What we can do here now is we can literally... Who the fuck is sending these many torps? I don't know if it's the YY smoke or actually the... Oh, well, that's unfortunate. Hope he isn't radar. No, that wasn't the YY smoke. That is the Elbing smoke. Okay, we don't have to pop Hydro yet. I mean, probably it's more than... It's a radar YY. Okay, what the fuck? Use AP here. Would be great if my team would actually help me, kind of. It's a fucking legendary radar YY. He's killing me, he's killing me, he's killing me. There's nothing I can do. My team isn't helping. I said I'd trade effectively with him, meaning that I probably... Wait a minute, wait a minute. That I probably kill him while he kills me. Like, a normal radar YY wouldn't have been that big of a problem, but if he's like ledge mod, then he obviously is a gun spec. That means he has way more DPM than I do, kind of. So even if I would... And he had like support of his team, kinda, so... Or like the Elbing was shooting me, also knocking a gun. Can open A here. The only reason I survived here is because I do have the... Wait a minute. I do have the... the smoke radar, the smoke hydro combination up, which is like the exact reason why I survived. Nah, fuck this. Guy gets a heal out and I shot because I looked at the fucking smoke time at the wrong time. I'm dead. Oh wait, no, guy didn't. I'm gonna obviously cuck AA immediately. I keep the Trump in hydro range the entire time, which is interesting. My team isn't really killing him though, it's weird. I don't have smokes anymore, so I don't know. Apart from me trying to cap middle now, I'm useless for my team. I can hydro the Trump, I can cap, I can maybe twerp the smokes of Sherman and Elbing or the Shiki if he comes over. Other than that, I can't really do much more here. I don't have spotting ribbons. Actually, I have one. I mean, but the... Could they fucking kill the Trump finally? I mean, this is just getting ridiculous here. How are they so fucking stupid that they can't kill this motherfucker? I don't want to get proxied by him. I turn out here. Dude, like... Are these schmucks... Do they? Why does no one shoot that guy? I mean, I know the ones from base have no angle on him, but... Oh, the carrier's above me. Yeah. Fuck. I'll switch to AG. Yeah, it's okay, carrier, it's okay, it's okay. Understand, I understand. You're a cunt. You wanna fucking... For some weird reason drop me with torpedoes, and... I like it. It's cool. Now I even lost spot on him. Well, I'm gonna get my last salvo out, and I'm dead. My team was unable to assist me in the sense that they're just brain-dead fucking ape monkeys in base. Our carrier is apparently a carrier emblem. He's more concerned about probably dropping battleships in base. My full HP Yamato was too dumb. My full HP Starling Rod is dumb as fuck. And yeah. Sedge. The people in base were just dog shit, so I don't know. I mean, they're scared of a Sherman with 500 HP and a smoke that is already dead. We're going to win the game anyways, but I mean, it's very unfortunate that I'm running into a ledge mod radar YY. It's fairly, like, I kind of got baited there by the Elbing smoke. I didn't know that the Elbing would actually sit there and smoke, and I thought I could just run at the, yeah, supposed YY smoke and hydro him out, but yeah, the YY randomly popped with radar. Misjudgment, but then again, when do you see this kind of shit? So... that's it for Z-52 really. I personally don't see a reason to play it. It worked in both games here, because as I said, no radars, matchmaking was fine. I mean, it was full tier 10, but yeah, you got lucky with the ships in the enemy team really, and I don't know. Unless they buff it, there's not really a point. You're not really gaining anything interesting on this ship that you couldn't get on others, or like that you don't have on others that do it better. To be fair, if you go for a contest destroyer, I'd go for daring. Like the daring is straight up just like making Z kinda useless. The torpedoes are arguably better, especially because you can also snail them. Your DPM is way better. Your AP is actually way better, because it fuses more and it has improved pen angles. And the short burst smoke with your personal hydro and the heals, like, you're in general just a way better ship. So yeah, it's like the perfect comparison, and just the specific reason why Z just sucks cock. You pen 32, that's fine, but for example on Daring or Smaland you just set way more fires. So yeah, that's just it, I guess. In any case, see you for the next video, and take care.